Is an almost love story. There she was, at 20 years old, when she first understood that love might not be the universal language everyone claimed to be. She grew up not caring about love aside from fictional scenarios. Her college years began unremarkably. She excelled in her English department program, maintained a healthy social life with her peers, and spent most evenings in the glow of her gaming setup, where she felt most herself. She had never been in love, a fact that neither troubled nor particularly interested her until the autumn of her third semester. But there is a man who entered her orbit through the mundane mechanics of a group assignment in film studies. Like her, he carried the quiet dignity of someone who had never fallen in love, though his reason different from hers. Where the woman felt disconnected from the concept entirely, the man had simply never met anyone who stirred anything deeper than friendly affection. Their partnership began professionally. The woman, despite her natural shyness, found herself oddly comfortable with the man's patient explanations and gentle humor. He possessed an unusual quality, the ability to make her anxiety feel less like a personal failing and more like a manageable quirk. When she stammered through presentation, he would quietly slide her a note with a small twiddle that somehow steadied her breathing. It was the man who introduced her to a more gaming space that would become the scaffolding of their unusual relationships. Through pixelated avatars, the woman discovered a version of herself that could be bold, strategic, even leadership minded. The man watched this transformation with something approaching wonder. Though neither of them had words for what they were witnessing. For the first time in her life, the woman experienced something resembling belonging, though she remained uncertain whether it was the friendship or the man's presence that made the difference. The months between their third and sixth semesters passed in a rhythm of late-night raids, shared assignments, and an intimacy that neither quite recognized. The woman would catch herself looking forward to the man's message with an intensity that puzzled her. The man began structuring his evenings around their gaming sessions, declining other social invitations with increasing frequency. Their confession came not in a moment of passion, but during an after-class time. The woman talks a lot with the man until she drops a bomb. "I think I like you more than I understand." The man's response came 17 minutes later. "I've been wondering if what I feel for you is what other people call love." The conversation that followed revealed two people discovering they had developed feelings neither quite knew how to name or navigate. The woman admitted that she had never been in love and wasn't certain she was capable of it. The man confessed that while he had feelings for her, they didn't match the overwhelming passion depicted in movies or described by their friends. They attempted dating in the traditional sense, coffee meetings that felt like job interviews, a dinner that ended up with both of them relieved to return to their respective home. The physical aspects of romance felt performative, like following a script written in a language they only half spoke. Yet, something sustained itself between them. Their gaming sessions continued. Their friendship deepened. The woman found herself protective of the man in ways she had never been protective of anyone. The man discovered that the woman's happiness had become mysteriously essential to his own well-being. By graduation, they had settled into a relationship that defied easy categorization. They were not lovers in a conventional sense, nor were they merely friends. They occupied some middle territory that seemed to work precisely because neither expected it to transform into something more dramatic. The woman graduated summa cum laude and took a position at a translation company. The man accepted a role at a non-profit focused on educational They moved to apartments 15 minutes apart, maintained their gaming schedule, and continued introducing each other as my person when pressed to define their relationship. Years later, the woman would reflect that perhaps love was not the binary experience she had always assumed, something you either felt completely or not at all. Perhaps it was more like a spectrum, and she and the man found their particular wavelength or of affection, understanding, and mutual care. It wasn't love or romantic comedies or pop songs, but it was theirs, and it was real, and it was enough. Their story continued in Discord chat logs, shared grocery lists, and the comfortable silence of two people who had learned that not all meaningful connections required traditional names or conventional expressions. They had found each other in the space between friendship and romance, and they had decided to stay there, building something entirely their own.